And
And we're live.
No
Greetings
countdown.
and welcome to Something in the Dark, a part of the Untold Stories Project. I am your host and game master, Aaron. Something in the Dark is an actual play of Mutants and Masterminds, the world's greatest superhero RPG from Green Ronin Publishing, using concepts and themes from the Supernatural Handbook, and is set within the connected version of Earth Prime that can be seen in many, many other offerings from the Untold Stories Project. Mutants and Masterminds is a D20 based system which allows players and GMs to create stories featuring all of the greatest heroes of their imagination. Mutants and Masterminds is flexible enough to handle most superheroic shenanigans, complex enough to handle most weird situations, and simple enough to be easy to play. One of the things I personally love about this game is the inclusion of hero points. These allow our heroes to re-roll a die, take an extra action, recover from a dangerous condition, or use a power stunt to use their abilities in new and creative ways that it will in no way, shape, or form make GMs pull their hair out. Heroes each get to start with one of these heroes' points, and they can get additional points for good role-playing, funny jokes, clever decisions, and for me using their complications against them. They can also get these points from your generosity. If you subscribe, renew a subscription, donate bits to our stream, you will generate a hero point that can be given to the player of your choice. We are a small but growing streaming network. All of those follows and subscriptions help keep us visible and growing and paying our bills. Now, a word of warning. Unlike some of the other shows and streams in our network, this show is rated M for mature. While it deals with superheroes and is set on Earth Prime, this is intended as a horror stream. On this show, we will be dealing with issues of mental health, body horror, kidnapping, torture, murder, and similarly adult topics. The show is not suitable for younger audiences and may trigger some adults. In addition, while the show will mostly take place in the city of New Orleans, and we have stolen liberally from the real-world version, the Earth Prime version may be slightly different in terms of names and places from their actual city. A final administrative note, we have a partnership with Norse Foundry Dice, and through that partnership, USP viewers can get 10% off any purchases from Norse Foundry by using the code USPNorse with no space on their website. We're coming up on the holidays, so it is a perfect time to buy awesome dice for those dice goblins in your life. So, with that out of the way, let's meet our players for the night. Say, gravestones, heroes.
Gravestones.
Heroes.
Heroes.
My stones.
Oh my god.
Heroes, let's go ahead and have you introduce yourselves. Tell us your name, who you are playing, where else our listeners can find you, and answer our question of the week, which is, what actor would you cast to play your character or characters? And we will start with the one person who I know won't have any trouble answering this, Brandon.
You are correct.
Being nice, that's new.
Well, I mean, he already knows what my answer is going to be. So, hi everyone. My name is Brandon. You can see me here most Tuesday nights. Also in City of Destiny and Gemstars. I'm also in a bunch of different one shots. And today I am playing Orpheus and Eurydice. Eurydice would be played by Jonathan Van Ness of the new Queer Eye series on Netflix, and Orpheus would be played by Ruby Rose. And I will pass it to Deuce.
Howdy, everybody. I'm the Deuce. I'm the Hydrox cookies of the USP to Kevin's Oreos. I am playing Larry and Babel. Larry, a mild-mannered preacher with his good buddy, a spirit of conflict, Babel himself. And if looking for someone to play both these people, someone with good range of duality, we'll go with the incomparable Robin Williams, because if you've seen 1 Hour Photo, he can be a creepy bastard when he wants to be. And, let's pick on Jimmy next.
Why do you hate me? Everyone hates me. They all hate me so much.
I do it with love.
Uh,
Hi,
I'm Jemmy. You can find me around the network on for words. I'm great, guys. That's where. No, on Gemstars, on Heroes of Tomorrow. We had the old podcast and pick a random one shot, spin the wheel, and I might be there. Anyway, today I will be playing the magnificent and mystical Master Mage of Math, Magic, and Music, also known as Muse. To answer the question of the day, I'm gonna warn you all, I don't know actors at all. So it was like 30 minutes before we had to go live, and I was panic searching actors up. But we're gonna settle on Natalie Portman just because I love her.
Stop that.
Thank
Not
you.
surprised you didn't pick Carla Gugino after watching the first half of Fall of the House of Usher, but
That's
Shut
what
up.
I've been forgetting to watch.
I would have picked her if I was a little more, but I was like, I don't know if that quite fits Muse. Anyway, Wiki.
Why would you? You know, I don't have an answer for this question.
I didn't really either.
Hi, I'm Wiki, and I play Harper Grace, who is the designated stabby person of the group. I mean, yeah. And to answer the question, I do not know. I have been looking for an answer for this question since coming up with the character concept and whatnot, because I knew this question was going to become a question of the day, and I still have not found an answer. So let's go with, if we ever have to cast a live action version, that they will be the member of the cast that is newly discovered.
Wiki in her debut performance.
Absolutely not. I am too old and too tall. I believe that's everybody, right? Is that everybody? No? No, it's Aunt Puppy, because she's the one shaking her head that it is, in fact, everybody.
I tried so hard. So I'm Aunt Puppy. I play Professor. I was gonna say I play Alexandrite, and that's not me.
Not tonight.
Not tonight. I play Professor Daffodil Carey Pembroke. What? God, I can't even think what she does. This day is terrible for me. She so far has demonstrated that she has telekinesis, and she's also pretty dang smart. So I've had to learn what that's like. And if I had to pick someone to play her, I've been kind of just Googling redheaded actresses. But after some thinking, Emma Stone, I think, would be who I would cast as her. I know she's not British, but she did pretty well with that kind of accent in Cruella de Vil, so I think she could do it. So, but yeah, I think she has the kind of like sarcastic, nice girl personality that I think would fit Daffy the best. So now it's everybody and can go back to Aaron. It's rude.
And although Alex is not with us yet, once his character appears, he has said that his character would be played by Michael Fassbender. So when last we saw our heroes, they had been invited to the headquarters of Arcade and agreed to investigate the disappearance of one Leroy Dutch and his team of operatives, who had, as far as anyone knew, gone rogue while investigating a vampire cult. Our heroes had managed to determine that there was some genetic link between Dutch and said vampires, and they had managed to capture and interrogate one member of the cult, a former student of Muse's named Derek.
Derek.
Orpheus had used his mental manipulation powers to convince Derek that he was a member of the cult as well, and that he would arrange to give Derek a chance to escape, with the plan being that the heroes would follow Derek back to the nest. They also learned that director Courtney Vance's granddaughter, Erica, is in some way, shape, or form tied up with this cult, a fact that so far the heroes have chosen to keep to themselves. In addition, they've discovered that all of these cult members have some tie to the vampire-themed nightclub, the Théâtre du Vampire. So, we are going to pick back up with our heroes at Arcade HQ as they are discussing all of these things and trying to figure out when would be the most opportune time to release Derek. So, talk to me, heroes. What are you guys doing?
Well, I believe we had talked to Angel about our plan. And he knows the way the things work around here, so I figured he'd be able to suggest the best time. I can follow him pretty easily without being noticed.
I can make sure that he's fully tracked.
Hey, Harper already punched a bug in.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Literally into him.
It worked, didn't it?
I mean,
Don't agree with your message, but agree with your outcome.
All right, so the choices, as you saw it, were to release him relatively early, release him closer to dawn, in which case, if you wanted to pursue another avenue of investigation, that is an option. The world is an oyster.
I prefer the idea of releasing him early, because we know that they're ramping up their timeline. We don't want to wait too long.
But correct me if I'm wrong. Did he not say he wouldn't return there until sundown tomorrow anyway?
No, that he needed to return by at least sundown, or that
I'm pretty sure he said that they were expected to go to ground and then return the next day so that they weren't followed. Aaron?
I don't remember. Yeah,
Plus,
okay.
if you release him closer to the due date, he's not going to have as much time to hide, so he's going to go.
No, that's
right
fine.
there.
I didn't remember that detail. So, okay, then I say let's release him so that he has just enough time to get there.
Less time for him to try to wreak havoc all over the place, too.
Exactly.
Okay.
And if I may, what's the reason why we don't want to tell the director about her daughter?
Granddaughter.
Granddaughter.
Can we trust her?
I think the opposite in this. It shows her that she can trust us. And perhaps her granddaughter has some other information that can help.
I mean, maybe, but she wasn't honest with us. So there is a question mark there of where do her loyalties lie?
that's the
I'm
other
gonna
problem.
go with family would be the that. I mean, I
That's
don't really
not.
have one, but
I didn't. That's not really one of the loyalties at heart. I'm wondering if she might be involved in the cult as well.
Even if she isn't, letting her know that her granddaughter is could potentially make it harder for us to actually do anything about this cult.
look, I don't care either way. So
Like I said, I think it's probably better to just wait just a little bit. But if we decide we want to tell, then okay.
I am assuming you are not having this conversation in front of Angel.
No.
Oh no, I kind of assumed that we decided what time and then went off to our own
Yeah.
little
Cool. Absolutely.
office or
Nope, that makes total sense. At the moment, there hasn't been an office set up for you yet, but Deuce's office, or not Deuce,
Ha.
Dutch's office is currently completely empty, so you can certainly use that as a place to.
And like I said, like I said before, I'm not entirely convinced that this isn't a setup job for Dutch. There are things that are just a little too neat and but just also just slight nagging details. I look at it and it's too easy to read it both ways.
What other details are bothering you?
Well, it's just the fact, like I said, that it's too easy to read it both ways.
Out of curiosity, Brandon, are you currently Orpheus?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'll say that one detail that's been bothering me is just if Dutch has this mystical weapon that never needs to reload it and shoots like a hand cannon, why was there a shell casing left behind for a gun that doesn't need to be reloaded? And revolvers don't eject casings when you shoot them.
The shell casing was bothering me, but I hadn't even considered that before it was bothering me.
I don't even mention that to me.
Do you guys bring us the shell casing?
I believe you have it, or it was brought to you.
Okay.
you told us about your whole DNA findings, right?
Yeah. I mean, if I didn't literally tell you at the moment, yes, I told you what I discovered.
Okay.
But I don't think I ran anything through with the shell casing. Did I? I don't think I did.
No, I don't think we analyzed it, but that was just a concern, or it
So look,
also.
I have a theory about these vampires.
Go ahead.
Run my blood.
What?
So Daffy will kind of go.
She will
Okay.
literally just like slice
Yeah,
not
she's
her
like,
hand because that is the dumbest place to frickin' cut yourself. So like across the top of the forearm. Like
yeah,
you get what you need.
she picked robots for a reason. She doesn't like the blood. Plus she doesn't like knowing that it actually came from a subject. Like she likes the idea of like not knowing that there was a subject behind the things that she is
This
testing.
is just some
Gotcha.
random blood that spontaneously generated.
Yes, yes. I'm gonna undo that idea for you right now. Here you go.
Yeah, so she just kind of like haphazardly tries to find like a slide to like drip some of the blood on so that she can run it, and then find a little test tube for her to throw it in there. And then she will run it. She'll bring it over to not the mass spec. What is the thing that does the blood?
The thing that does the blood.
That thing. Yeah.
Science.
Yes.
Sciencey stuff. But she will take also the shell casing and try and run it through their database of shell case. Why can't I think of any of the words that these things are called? I watch enough of these stupid shows. I should know what these stupid things are called.
Just
all of that knowledge was stored in your shoe and you fell out of it.
The shoe.
Probably. I'm wearing sandals. That's the worst part. Like I'm not even wearing real shoes. They're freaking sandals and I fell out of them.
Carrie, what do you get on a expertise, science, or a technology check?
Technology. Get back to my character sheet. There we go.
I would like to assist with that.
Oh,
Well, I was just going to ask what she got with a take 10 because we might not even need to roll for it.
It's
Well,
looks
if I
like a
take
plus
10, she has to add
14,
5.
so
got a 19.
24. Want to take 10?
What am I doing? What? You guys
I
say
was
all these
answering
words
the
like I'm
question.
supposed to know what them are.
Okay, so when you are not stressed, like when you have time to work on something, you can what they call in D&D it was called taking 10. In Mutants and Mastermind, it's called a routine check. It means that you don't actually need to roll the dice; you just add 10 to your bonus.
Okay, so then it would be 24.
Okay, so here are the things that you will easily be able to tell looking at the at the shell casing first. The shell casing obviously does not match Dutch's revolver. However, it would match one of the standard issue firearms that all arcade agents are given.
It's 8.
It doesn't.
Spanky?
They don't have. It doesn't specify, just that it's a standard issue weapon.
You can't track it to the specific gun without a lot more time.
What a terrible database. How do they not track their agents by their weapons? Like, why wouldn't you fire test weapons so that you have their shell casings so you can alleviate them from...
Because nobody does that in real life.
Oh my God. They should.
Because shell casings aren't actually that precise.
No. The other thing that you will be able to determine is that all right, so you had managed to isolate the not human elements of Dutch's blood. You had managed to determine that the vampire cultists had that same non-human element and something else in it. And you're now trying to compare this to Harper's blood?
Correct.
Harper's blood also has a non-human element to it.
Okay.
It is not the same as either of these two elements.
And it doesn't match the unknown element in the vamps, right?
Nope.
Okay.
Doesn't match the unknown element in the vamps and doesn't match the unknown element that is in both Dutch and the vamps.
Hey, everybody, let's all get blood tests.
Are the Dutch element and the non-human element in Harper's blood similar?
Similar, but not identical.
Like as if they come from the same
family
species?
Like they're cousins, not siblings.
You're not even sure about that. Maybe more like the same genus.
Okay.
Like maybe they come from the same dimension of hell, but
right.
But not the same. Certainly not the same entity. Certainly not the same probably not the same species.
Okay.
Maybe the same circle of hell.
Yeah, but saying like. So look, my theory is that unknown element, that's the vampirism. The Dutch thing, that's demonic. The man was possessed, possibly still possessed, and that explains the
drastic change in behavior.
Yeah.
Can I throw another theory out there?
Well, that's all we're working on right now.
There's no vampirism at all. I'm not convinced these guys actually drink blood because they need it.
Well, I mean, and I hold up the tooth that the fang that I pulled from whatever his name is.
So she's gonna Harper. Daffy will sit out a petri dish for you to put that on so that she can test it later.
You're not getting my tooth.
That's going on a necklace.
Aaron, I'd like to do something kind of weird if you'll allow it.
Sure.
Because I just didn't think of it. I didn't think to do it at the time, but an insight check on our captive
The
that
heck was
was
his name?
I.
Deacon?
Derek.
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 I don't know why my
Derek.
brain's just like, no, I can't.
All
that name-
vampires are called. All vampires are named Deacon. We know this.
No, just Deacon Frost.
That how literal he was being when he talked about the blood is life or whatever that phrase was.
Mhm.
I don't have a terribly great insight.
I'm just trying to figure out what you're trying to figure out.
Like how literal.
Oh, okay.
Like-
Oh, he was
Yeah,
being
give me an
literal.
insight check.
Ah, I got-
I mean,
Right,
I
You
don't even-
know
I
exactly
need-
what.
I really need to change around my skill points after we decided that the bardic knowledge was only expertise.
You know as much as all of us know.
Oh, Harper's like, no, he was completely literal. He drank somebody's blood, 100%. Whether
Well-
he needed to or not.
The theory that may be, and again, purely a theory, is they're sharing blood. So the main entity, this vampire, could be what connects them all, the unknown element. And then they got lucky with Dutch, which
Or it
added
could
to their
just-
pool.
It could just be, I don't know, a demon plus something. A demon is at the head of this, and
Demon is at the head
he's
of
just
everything.
taking advantage of stupid emo kids who want to be vampires and is just running with it.
Right, but that doesn't put Dutch's blood in them.
No, but if it's a demon, that puts Dutch's blood into it. The plus is what's missing in that scenario. Yeah, you smug DM.
Look, if I am not allowed to take pleasure in listening to my players try to unravel the mystery, then what am I even doing here?
Fair.
But at the moment, all we have are theories and questions.
Yeah.
So
But at least we're throwing them out there so that we're thinking about it and killing time between now and when he escapes and oh hey look, it's time.
What time actually is he escaping, like time-wise?
Daffy's just really aggressively trying to get the tooth.
I think you guys agreed that you were going to try to release him closer to dawn so that he doesn't have time to do much other than go hide, and then you'll follow him back to the nest tomorrow at sundown.
Before
Yep.
he does that, or while they, do we want to go send people to investigate the club?
Yeah, what time is it at this point?
It's not that late. I mean, you guys were meeting at the teacup, bottom of the teacup at 7. You've been doing some investigating and traveling around the city and theorizing and whatnot. So it's probably, it's not midnight yet, but it's fairly late at night.
It's
But it's
prime
not-
head
it's
to the
before
club
midnight.
time.
Exactly.
Oh yeah, no, the club is absolutely still.
We take like a few minutes to go
The
dress
club
in
is
something to blend in
bumping.
better.
I'll wait outside for you.
I was gonna say, Carrie's like, yeah, I don't think blending in is a thing I can do very well.
Mm.
Seeing as she's wearing like bright yellow shirt, has like bright orange hair, and a hovering wheelchair.
I'm taking a moment to get changed before this.
Yeah, I'm just gonna
But-
go like this.
That works. Your outfit works. Mine,
I mean,
Yeah, I know it
You-
does.
So Carrie will not be coming or Daffy will not be coming to the club.
No, she will not be going on any of these adventures. She will stay right here in the lab and attempt to finagle the tooth temporarily.
Yeah, I'm already leaving, so
Is she going to send a drone?
Yes, yes.
To steal the tooth from.
I'll be happy to get you two there. I'll just park a block or so away and let you walk the rest.
I got my bike, and I think I'm probably better off going without the pretty people.
Sure.
So
If something happens, I'll be near.
I will go. I can just grab some of my wife's skimpy clothes, and then it really doesn't matter what era or milieu I fit into.
okay. Here,
I'd like to
Wheels,
get changed too.
and she will throw the tooth at you. I better get that back in one piece. And then I'm going to turn around and head back through the headquarters and go find my bike.
All right.
By the way, Professor, while we're gone, maybe investigate the cultist we have to see if physiologically they're somehow different, and maybe you can identify them on site so we can separate the real ones from the club kids. I don't know if they have a different differentiating marker or something, but at least something to do.
In my head, I am going to request blood samples, but also in my head is a picture of Harper just going around punching them all in the face so that she can get blood samples from each individual one.
What, it'll work.
Oh God.
All right. So we have everyone but Carrie going to the club. But Carrie is sending a drone. Harper is arriving separately.
Correct.
And Larry does not plan to actually try to enter the club.
No, it seems
So
just
Carrie
better.
will offer up little tiny like nanites that turn into watches if anybody wants to have a way of directly communicating with each person.
I would love that.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, it's one of those like it gets on your wrist and then turns into a watch.
So you all have comlinks.
Correct.
Okay. All right. Well, let me move you
They're
all.
definitely not trackers.
Mhm.
Let me move you all to the Théâtre du Vampire.
Okay, I'm uncomfortable with the fact that he had this map already ready.
I mean, there was like 2 outcomes of what would happen if we would need a map.
Can I just point out that you have gamed with me long enough to know that I
know.
over-prepare for everything and have maps for like every location that I think you guys might even go to?
Math checks out.
Alrighty, let's see if the Roll20 overlay is working.
I mean, how many times did I not have a map ready when you guys were trying to do something in City of Destiny?
That's true. That is true.
Challenge accepted.
He had an uncomfortable amount of maps. It felt like I was like, we need to be killing more things.
Oh my god.
All right. Let me know when we are good to go.
I mean, I see it, man.
Oh my gosh. Harry's eye. I love it.
Let's try that and see how that works for us.
It works.
And I can adjust it as needed.
Yeah. I mean, currently it's centered on kind of the corner of the map, but it works.
Question. Does the Vampire Place have a guest list that is digital?
Not that you're able to easily find. They might, but if they do, it's not like it's not online for you to find.
Okay. I was gonna try and hack in so that I could put all their names on the guest list so that they could go right in.
So, the Théâtre du Vampire is a very popular and very busy nightclub, even on a Tuesday night. There is a line to get in, which stretches nearly 30 feet from the door. There are a pair of bouncers standing by the door on the other side of the red velvet rope. The bouncers there is a Caucasian man and an African American woman. They are wearing matching leather jackets, black sunglasses, little earpieces, shaved heads, and a set of fangs that are visible when they speak, which isn't very often. The woman holds a clipboard and is turning away people who aren't on the list.
Mm.
Even before you get to the club, you can tell that you're getting close because before you hear it, you can feel the bass just resonating in your chest from the dance music.
Oh, I'm sure their neighbors love them.
Huh?
Said I'm sure their neighbors love them.
Well, funny enough, they don't have a lot of real close neighbors.
So I don't think they have a lot.
As you get there, you will see that in addition to the line, there are a couple of little reflecting pools with lights out front, and there are people sitting out there talking, making out, smoking cigarettes, overwhelmingly clove cigarettes.
It's the little details.
Almost like I went to goth nightclubs at one point in my life.
Imagine that.
I'm a fetus. I'm a tree. I'm a fetus. I'm a tree.
Yes.
Have
you seen the video of the bats hanging, but then turned upside right, and it looks like they're in a goth club dancing?
Right? Yeah. So, what are you guys doing when you get there? I'm going to assume that Harper probably arrives slightly faster than everyone else because Harper is riding a motorcycle with no care for anyone else's well-being.
That is correct.
And
I just imagine my little spy camera on her shoulder, like holding on like a spider going down a spout, just like, God!
And I also wanted to get changed into something a little more fitting for a nightclub.
Right, Muse was going to change, and I am assuming that Larry drives like he does care about who else is on the road.
Like a responsible human being
in
his big white church van.
Right. And yes, and Orpheus was changing as well. So Harper, you're there first. What do you want to do when you get there?
I'm not even gonna bother with trying to like get in like a normal person.
Of course not.
I am going to wait until I see let's say a group of 3 people who are very definitely going to get turned away from the door and are going to raise a stink about it. I'm going to wait for those
goth
people.
Karens?
I'm waiting for the sorority girls who picked the wrong place. Or the tourists who picked the wrong place. And so I'm going to use my size to try to sneak in while they're, otherwise occupied.
Okay, so yes, any of you can move the spotlight, by the way.
Oh, sorry. I was moving it because I was trying to center everything, and I lost track of where it went. That's my bad. I'm sorry, guys.
It's fine. You guys can move it wherever you want. It's for everyone to use to be available as a safety tool. But yes, so Harper, you are immediately able to tell that this club is frequented by basically 2 different types of people. A lot of the people here are, one look at them and you know that they are into the goth, witch, voodoo subculture scene. Like it lots of tight black leather and vinyl, PVC vinyl and lace and fishnet, top hats, skulls, silver jewelry, the whole thing.
Yep.
Onks, lots and lots of onks. Unlike a goth club that you might find that we might find here in the Midwest, there is definitely a little bit more voodoo than just the goth vampire scene, but it still all vibes together very easily. The other group of people who are here are very clearly tourists.
Yep.
Who are, wearing bright t-shirts and shorts or jeans and
carrying large neon colored plastic funnels or cups or empty grenade shaped cups or
some of that. Not a whole lot of that because the club doesn't let you bring them in anyways. But and we're not yet into Mardi Gras. Not that New Orleans is ever completely devoid of Mardi Gras trappings, but it is October. And it's not that they don't let those people in, but those are the people who don't get in until there are people leaving.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And then there are other people who walk right up to the ropes and go right in. Give me an insight check, Harper.
Okay.
Or trying to think if there's anything that might be more appropriate off of your sheet.
My expertises are occult, magic, and demonology.
Yeah. I'll allow the better of insight or investigation.
We will go with investigation. What did I roll? I have so many things open. 25.
25. All right. So what you will be able to pick out is that the pattern of who seems to be allowed right past the ropes, regardless of the comings and goings of other people in the club, that the pattern is that there doesn't seem to be a pattern.
Yeah.
Like sometimes it is people who are clearly, oh, you've got money. And sometimes people with money get turned away. Sometimes it is people who are only barely subscribing to the goth culture. Like they're in ratty white or black t-shirts and dark colored pants. But sometimes those are the people that the bouncers just immediately wave right in. So without, but you do have those senses, don't you?
I do. Is anybody pinging me in this crowd, by the way?
Yes, in fact.
Girl at the door?
Both of the bouncers are pinging. And about a third of the people who are waved right in are pinging. Not all of them, but about a third of them ping.
Enough to be noticeable.
Yeah.
Yeah. Interesting.
All right, so you're going to try to sneak in.
I am.
All right, that sounds like it is either a deception or a stealth check.
I was thinking stealth because I'm trying to use my size to.
Right, yeah. Like I said, I would allow either because one part of it is trying to use the benefit of other people being a distraction, and the other part of it is just using stealth. So I'll allow whichever you're better at.
Stealth slightly. So
okay,
let's see what happens. all the windows. What do I got? That is that's an 18.
Okay. How do you feel about an 18?
Not great.
Enough that you want to use your hero point on it?
Yeah.
You don't have to.
I don't wanna, but I'm going to because I want to get in this club. All right. Let's go again. See what happens. What the heck? Oh, there it is. 26.
26. Yeah, you're able to use the distraction of the Karens who they're very proud of their brand new acrylic fangs. Like they have nothing else that suggests the vampire scene. Like they're wearing tank tops and short mini skirts and but they have brand new fangs and they're clearly brand new because they don't even match the color of their teeth. They're a little too white, a little too shiny. And yeah, they are all but throwing themselves at both of the bouncers. And it's just awkward and uncomfortable enough that you are able to slip past them and get inside. So I'm going to move you onto the inside of the club.
Cool. Give the audience a little view of the inside of the club.
Yep. The club is packed, is really the only way to describe it. There are lots of people gathered around the tables and chairs and sofas and easy chairs around the sides, around the edges, the walls of the club. There are, at a quick glance, you'd guess close to 50 people on the dance floor. There is a DJ up on the little stair out or the alcove stage area at the top of the bar. And at the bar, there are two bartenders, both very attractive, a very tall, muscular black man with dreadlocks that go down to his waist, and a blonde Caucasian woman who looks like she's probably a little bit on the older side for a place like this, but is still stunningly beautiful and voluptuous. And there are a crowd of about 5 people crowded around the bar. You get the feeling that the bartenders could probably be serving them faster, but they seem to both be very good-natured, cheerful individuals. They are making jokes and doing the cocktail thing of tossing the bottles up in the air and letting them spin, catching them, and I won't even ask for a perception or insight check for you to realize that the pours that the bartenders are giving are very generous.
They want people drunk.
So, a rum and Coke is a rum and Coke. I will also point out that of the bartenders, actually, no. The bartenders, they do not ping. Neither does the DJ. Neither does. Well, actually, give me a perception check.
Sure. 20.
You're getting a faint ping from the center of the dance floor, but you can't see enough to tell. You'd have to kind of get yourself in there and onto the dance floor to get close enough to kind of figure out which person it is, because there's a lot of movement and
there's a lot of bodies out there.
Yeah.
Are we talking?
Are they gonna hit the floor?
Are we talking actual? They might. Are we talking actual? So inside the club, are we talking actual goth rave dancing, or are we talking slam dancing? Are we talking full on mosh pit? What kind of
It is much more goth rave than
So a
slam
lot of
dancing.
people
mosh pit.
kind of doing their own thing.
Yep. There
Okay.
are a few small groups of people who are kind of slam dancing with each other.
Okay.
But for the most part, the vibe you can get is that the people who are doing that know that the people around them are all cool with it.
Yeah.
And that they're trying not to like go too far away from that cluster and like bounce into other people.
Gotcha. Okay.
So what do you want to do first?
I'm very annoyed that I've just walked into a feeding trough. So, I mean, you get the humans in here, you get them drunk, you feed on them.
Maybe.
I am going to move to, I'm going to make my way past the bar and the dance floor and in toward this little like corner over here, kind of just hang out in this little seating area.
Okay,
Just
you can do that. Strangely,
to the music a little bit. And
are you going to get a drink?
I will probably wait until the crowd clears a little bit. So I'll kind of keep my eye on the bar in a way that says I'm waiting for it to be not quite so that.
Okay.
But I'm going to use that to kind of just watch.
All right. Sounds good. While you are doing that, everyone else who wishes to arrive will arrive.
Yippee.
Park about a block away and watch those two get out of the van, which does not look right.
Yeah. So Larry, are you even coming close, or are you staying back at the van?
I'll stay by the van. So just a block away where I can maybe see people heading towards the entrance, but not nearby, not immediately there.
All right. I'll put you right on the edge of the map then.
Sure. Be careful, you two.
Where's the funny
point? Orpheus, Muse, pretty much the same things I described for Wiki. It's busy.
Can Carrie try and hack into their headsets?
I'll let you try, but the difficulty is going to be pretty high. Because you are working so remotely and you don't actually have any superpowers related to controlling technology. You just have high skills.
Correct. And just technology?
Yeah.
Okay. How about a 29?
I was setting it at a 25, so yeah. All right, you are able to get in to hack into the frequency of their headsets.
So Carrie will let them know that I am going to try and get them in. So if they want to walk up like VIPs, I'm going to radio into the two bouncers and say, when they try and deny them, they're not on the list, say, no, please let them in. Like, try and do my best, like, fancy person voice.
Okay. I mean, you've got a British accent. That's an automatic.
Yeah, it feels fancy.
All right.
I guess that's our plan.
Well, I figure worst case scenario, they can figure something else out if this doesn't work.
My plan is being an extraordinarily beautiful and voluptuous female presenting figure in very little amount of black leather. with various charms and bangles dedicated to various death cults in ancient Greece. With the backup plan of, maybe hopefully one of them recognizes me as a kind of semi-public figure in the music scene.
That's essentially what she was going to kind of use. Like, don't you know who that is? Let them in.
All right. I'm going to take a brief tangent for a moment.
Oh no.
Oh no.
Oh no.
Many, many, many moons ago,
Oh no.
when dinosaurs walked the earth.
And you were a teenager.
No, actually, when my father was a teenager.
Ah.
Well, not teenager, but early 20s. My dad was, hi, Alex. My dad was on a school bus going to pop festivals in the early 70s. And there was a time where the bus that my father was on was trying to get into this festival. They had been in line for hours to get in. And they noticed that there was a gate that people weren't coming in through, but it was a gate into the festival grounds. My dad's friend, Stan, got on his motorcycle, rode over to the gate, and started waving the buses in through this other gate.
Oh, God. I like where this is going.
At one point, after the third bus is starting to come in, someone comes up to him and says, "What do you think you're doing? You can't do that." And Stan, who was all of 5'0", skinny as a twig, gets up in his face and says, "Do you know who I am? Do you know who I am?" And the security guard looks at him and he's like, "No." At which point Stan says, "Well, you'd better find out." And he revs up the motorcycle and drives on into the festival grounds.
Oh, that's great.
Hey, all you got to do is look like you own the place. Just walk right in.
Intimidation.
Yeah.
So, Orpheus and Muse. Before even we have to worry about Carrie's attempt to bluff your way in, can each of you give me a persuasion check? If you have bonuses for attractiveness, you may add those in. Muse, you can also add in your bonus for cool.
Nice. So that's +2 for attractive, +5 for that. So this is +7.
Uh-huh.
Persuasion?
I had 5, so I get a 13.
I had a 22 +7, so that's 29.
Why do you hate me, Dice?
Don't worry, I've got you.
I mean, you got luck, Brandon.
Yeah, actually I do. This feels like a time I want to spend it. I want to get in on my own. I'm cool, damn it. That does become a minimum of a 17.
Yeah.
And yeah, that's an 18. Let's see here.
Not
No, I
even
think
seeing it.
let's see here. 2, so it's a 12 +5 is 7. Plus another 5, 22.
Okay.
So 22 and 29.
Yep. So the two of you start walking up, and the bouncers kind of look to each other, murmur as they see you approaching. Carrie, over their headsets, you can hear, "I don't know either of them, but those two look like they'd make fantastic recruits. Yeah, let them in."
And we're in.
And as you guys start walking up, they just unclip the rope and wave you on in.
Sorry, I do not have a mouse. I'm going to grab that on my hip break.
So since you guys all have communicators now, Carrie, knowing that you're in a club and you're not going to hear anybody, Carrie will send that message on their little communicators, like a text message type thing.
Literally just text me. You got my number.
You have everyone's number.
I
Who has a
do, but you guys were yelling at me about privacy, so I was like, I will give you my own tech.
I have no idea that this thing can receive text or what a text even is.
Just text me because it's a little less weird if I'm looking at my wrist than if I'm in a club looking at my phone.
So yeah.
I would have told you could text me.
Smartwatches are only for pretending that you're not on your phone in a classroom.
So, like I described to Harper, the club is very loud.
Oh, gee, wow.
The bass, shakes through your bones. Muse, you don't actually, both of you don't think that either of the two of you could play an instrument loud enough to be heard over this music.
I could try.
Fortunately, your magic doesn't actually depend on your sound being heard, in most cases. But, like I described, the bar is busy, but is getting a little bit less busy just as the music kind of kicks up. There are people on the couches and chairs against the walls. In a couple of cases, the people in the couches seem to be all but in the act of
in flagrante delicto or whatever it is.
Yep. Like for the most part, they're still
technically they still have clothes on. So
right, yeah.
Plausible deniability.
Exactly.
Somehow Carrie's camera will look like it's blushing and turning away.
And I will allow either of you to give me a perception check.
I would love to, but I can't promise I'll be great at it.
Well,
11.
It is very loud, and the lights are very red.
I think we're both just sitting there going, Jesus, that's loud.
I'm going straight for the bar.
I'll follow. You know what?
Harper, you will notice before they see you, you will see the two of them coming in, going up to the bar.
Bro, I ain't seeing anything, apparently.
I'm just perched inappropriately on the top of the seating over there, this little love seat or sofa or whatever it is. So, butt on the headrest, feet on the
sitting like a good proper bisexual.
I thought I was sitting like a bisexual.
Well,
I mean,
but
I've seen enough people at goth clubs to know that sitting on the chairs like that is totally in character.
Yeah. Like gargoyle-esque.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Orpheus, as soon as you come up to the bartender, the blonde woman looks you up and down, and you almost feel like she's wondering what seasoning would go best on you.
Take your pick.
And she just says, I haven't seen you here before. I'm Stacy. What can I get you to drink?
Surprise me.
Hey, Billy. She wants a special.
I'm going to be the bartender. I'm going to be the designated get you out of here without falling on the floor, aren't I?
Free to think that.
Billy is going to throw his head back and just laugh and goes, a special? He pushes a button and his voice amplifies across the bar.
Oh my god.
We've got a special over here, everyone.
Oh my god.
Kind of.
And there is a cheer that comes up from about a third of the bar patrons.
I'll kind of raise my hand up like,
What are you getting yourself into?
Nothing good.
So Billy goes over to where the booze is, and pulls out a Pilsner size glass and starts mixing in several top shelf liquors, several mixes that are in unlabeled bottles, and after about 5 minutes of just what can only be described as magic.
It's a water tower, isn't it?
It's not a water tower. It is much more complicated and much more intricate.
and much more alcohol.
It's a dumpster fire.
More alcohol than a water tower? And brings over to you a glass that is glowing golden by the time he is done with it.
I will.
You did not see him drop anything into it that, like, a glow stick or a match. I will allow either of you, because you both actually have the skill to notice this, to give me an expertise magic.
Sacred math here?
Oh, don't be suspicious. Don't be suspicious.
23.
Master
sacred
Mage
math.
of Mixology.
On the side, Muse is also a wine enthusiast.
Oh, gee. 21. I
Okay.
haven't got 7 yet.
That is good enough for both of you to realize that he was, in fact, casting a spell and doing a very, very simple ritual while making that drink.
Oh, I'm a ritualist. What ritual?
So,
Uh-oh.
as far as you can tell, the main benefit of that ritual is that the drink is extraordinarily potent and no one will ever have a hangover from it. It doesn't seem to have like any sort of mind control enchantment or anything like that. It's just really strong and won't leave you hungover.
I'm going to take it up and kind of like a connoisseur, give a little sniff.
It smells kind of fruity, but also with a little bit of like a cinnamon sting to it.
I get a little sip to get, get a taste of it.
I'm just watching.
Amazing. Actually, it almost tastes like ambrosia. Not quite, but almost.
Huh. And then I'll chug the whole thing.
Okay.
All right. Orpheus, I'm going to need a
fortitude save.
I'm immune to poison.
It's not poison.
I'm immune to disease.
I'm going to need a fortitude save when we get back from the break.
Oh my god.
So we're going to take our quick break here, and we'll see you all in a little bit.